50 and 100 seem to be... Is it landmarks? I don't think that's the right word. Milestones, that's the word. 50 and 100 seem to be the big milestones that you get a lot of rewards for. So I'm guessing that 50 and 100 will be more difficult than the rest. 100 especially makes sense because it's the last one. But then, because they are such milestones, maybe we'll get Kruger's special music on Battle 50. But on 100, we should just get it. Battle 52. Yeah, they use 3 Pokemon.
The stage is set and the curtain is
So
up.
let's set up our Kingler to be strong against all of them. Double team strategy in a place that already is 60% accurate because of the fog. This already makes 100% accurate moves such as Thunderbolt or Waterfall 50% accurate, basically, because I don't remember exactly how an evasion stat change modifies things, but it's around 50% accuracy, just because of the fog and 1 stage evasion boost. And it's really annoying! Come on, just hit! And now I have paralysis to deal with as well.
Solid hit, but this is not a favorable matchup.
At least Speed Boost still lets me go first.
Kingler restored its health.
And I can heal with leftovers, I like that.
Is tense.
Not really a defensive Pokemon, but I thought that, especially with Full Tackle, I would want to be able to heal up some HP while I set up like my Speed Boost, my Sword Dance, that potentially hit multiple water types or flyings, so I can use moves more regularly.
A heated battle is unfolding in the Colosseum.
Well, at least Nosepass isn't damaging me much. Magnum seems to be the best that it does, and even if it hits, and it's already not 100% accurate, and then there's the fog, like it's only dealing just a bit more than I heal with leftovers. So if it misses even once, I get back to full or near full HP at the moment.
Carefully examining their
So the fact that it's taking a while to even hit this one waterfall isn't too bad.
rushing blow.
Okay, that's gone.
Taken down.
Now let's see what my, was it, +5 or 6 speed stat Kingler can do against the rest. I guess I could have used this to set up Sandstorm, Sword Dance completely, because they couldn't damage me much, although I didn't want to deal with more double teams.
Bastiodon is sent out.
I thought that was the Water Girl, not the Rock Steel Girl.
The move fails.
Fissure! In the fog!
Of destruction.
That is an 18% accurate
A
move.
huge amount of damage.
18% accurate. Killer, who is supposed to be so useless against the Bastiodon. Show them why you're not. And miss.
The move
Of course you
fails.
miss.
Both
Wait, you know
corners
what I can
moves
do?
fail. Well, both corners still have
With,
a chance to win this. What kind of development
this,
can we expect to
like,
see
I can make a
next?
Wonder Guard Pokemon with no weakness if it's Sableye or Spiritomb. I can also put No Guard
Taken
on a
down by
Pokemon
an
with a
intense
one-hit
blow.
KO move. Now, Fissure's is fully resisted by Flyings, and Guillotine and Horn Drill by Ghosts. So if I just put No Guard on something with Sheer
The end of the
Cold,
battle is getting closer by the minute.
then make it something, just make it the fastest Pokemon in the game. Give it No Guard and Sheer Cold.
A huge amount of damage.
Probably won't do that much, but it's a possibility. Or do Horn Drill just for the jokes or something that definitely doesn't have a horn. Or Guillotine to something with these really cute short arms. Like, how would a Pichu use guillotine? How would a Togepi use guillotine when it uses metronome? Just things that we can think about. After this, I'm probably going to continue watching some WWE. Because I usually can't watch their stuff live. But I'm happy that, especially during these virus times at least, they are uploading full episodes of Raw and SmackDown on their YouTube channel. So I generally watch them there. Take a couple of days to watch through multiple sections. Sometimes I watch a lot in one day. I don't think I've ever watched, let's say, the full 1.5 hours in one sitting. Maybe I've done it on a single day, but not all in one sitting. Just watch 1 or 2 matches or something in between that they show, and then I do something else. Sort of a thing I often do in between other things. And then, like, Raw is on Monday, SmackDown's on Friday. So I try to have finished the Raw episode before we get to the SmackDown episode, and then finish SmackDown before Raw. So from SmackDown to Raw, I have one less day. Generally, I finish it like on the day or the day after the next episode airs. So, like right now, it is actually it's the end of Thursday. So the SmackDown episode will be in 24 hours. Around 24 hours. I won't finish the Raw episode tonight because I'm still streaming, but I'll probably finish that tomorrow before SmackDown airs. So actually, I thought I would finish it after because I thought it was already Friday, but it's not. So I'll probably finish the Raw episode before SmackDown airs. Like, I've known WWE has existed for quite a long time. Never really was too interested in it, but at the start of the year, it would have been somewhere around the Christmas break, I was starting to get really interested in some of the matches, especially some of the Royal Rumble matches that they do once a year. That got me really interested in just the history of some of the wrestlers, and just seeing more of the events. I've watched some parts or highlights of some of the shows. I watched the Royal Rumble live in 2020, watched WrestleMania with some friends. That was cool. And not since like the start of the year, but at least, I want to say at least since the Royal Rumble. No, not since the Royal Rumble. It would have been like since a week or two after the Royal Rumble, I watched all Raw and SmackDown episodes in the way that I explained earlier. Like watching it a bit on most days, and then trying to finish it before the next episode.
They're ready to battle and are awaiting.
Because I don't remember the Raw after SmackDown watching that immediately, where Drew McIntyre announced who he would face at WrestleMania, which is I'm pretty sure he immediately announced, "Hey, I'm going after Brock Lesnar." And I definitely don't remember seeing, well, in the few days after that anyway, Charlotte Flair saying, "I don't know who I'm going for yet," and later announcing Rhea Ripley. I must have just seen those in highlights. I started watching it regularly, like watching all of them like 2 weeks later or something. It's really interesting getting to know a lot more about WWE and the business and the way they set up the wrestling and the rules of it that are part of it. The rules of the show, the rules of the matches. It's very interesting to learn a lot more of the details. And I'm really enjoying the show. Now, it does mean that because I start watching a little bit after the Royal Rumble, it means I basically started regularly watching when the pandemic basically started becoming a thing, and more places were going on lockdown, and eventually WWE, even though it was able to continue, had to go without audience. So that definitely changes the show. But I'm still enjoying it as they're doing it now, and it'll then, once audience is allowed back, which will probably be in a couple of months, but still, when that comes back, that's going to be such amazing, so amazing for me. Like, for a lot of people that watch WWE, whether live or later on, like me, through the YouTube videos. But it'll be amazing to see crowds back in there and see those crowd cheers or boos. Let's say when there's a character that they don't like, or cheers when there's something they do like, and the whoa when there's this really cool special throw or suplex or whatever that they use in the match. That'll be cool.
And now, the battle begins. It's Attack Rose. A fierce blow. Such amazing power. The situation is a bit of a stalemate. It's a mental tug-of-war as they anticipate each other's move. Slammed him. A huge amount of damage. It's down.
Now, just thinking a bit more about what I can do with the ability changing and then giving them other things. Like, I've made most of these Pokemon on this team to improve what they can normally do. Like, not all of them are optimal, especially the Dusclops I feel could be a lot better. Because I can't really pull off its Poison Heal thing as well. It needs Spore, like, because I based the Poison Heal thing off Breloom, but Breloom has Spore, and then it also uses Substitute. But it didn't want to make Dusclops a Breloom, also because it doesn't have the attack stat that Breloom has. But I did update them all in a way that allows them to do something better than they can do normally. But I also think, let's say I could put color change, like Kecleon signature ability, on something else. It doesn't necessarily make a Pokemon better, but might make a Pokemon more interesting to play. And just give Pokemon other abilities that they would normally have, but that don't necessarily make them a lot better than they would normally be. Like Pressure, especially on a stalling Pokemon, can be really nice, but generally doesn't really affect things much, unless it's on a move that has 8 maximum power points. Such as maybe like the Flare Blitz, or I think Full Tackle has it as well. A lot of the strong moves have only 5 power points. Then Pressure might be good, but outside of that, not really. So Spiritomb, like, instead of Pressure, you might give him what is decent but not great as an ability? No, it's not an Event Kingler, but this is totally legal Pokemon, the simulator. Totally. You must have not been around earlier when I was using the Yanma sweep on Main Street Coliseum. Try to see if I can show you some of my other Pokemon. Yeah. There's more than just that on Kingler. You'll see. The rest of the team has some surprises as well. And although with everything that I've streamed today, and this stream and the previous stream that you were in earlier, a lot of the moves of the Pokemon have been revealed. Like, if you were there for a good portion of it, you'll have seen all the moves at least. I will say you can't get it legally. This isn't legal. I did fancy things. Magic. Just in case you were wondering. But all the moves have been shown on screen, and a lot of them have just been used already in whether it's Survival Battle here or Yanma and Main Street Coliseum. And I think I used them somewhere else as well, I don't remember. Not quite sure. But the only abilities, no, there's 2 abilities that aren't clear yet. Yanma's one, which isn't a very obvious one, like Kingler with Speed Boost. Yanma's one isn't very obvious, although if you think about it and you look at what Yanma can do, then maybe you can figure it out. And Golem's one isn't known yet, because it hasn't applied. It's not like, let's say, Keen Eye, where it only really applies when you have someone use Sand Attack on the Pokemon, then you see, oh no, can't do it because of Keen Eye. It's a more regular thing than I'd say Keen Eye, but it does require something somewhat specific to happen in a fight to apply. But I'll just say it is really good for a Golem. And I don't really want to force it to appear. I kind of want to keep it a surprise. It'll appear at some point. Likely through the survival battle. If not, then afterwards. Considering we still have well over 60 battles to go here. Good, decent chance that Golem will get to it. And otherwise, we'll see it in a different Coliseum. I'll use the team again later, because I can't change the order of my Pokemon, so Kingler will be first, therefore Kingler will be used the most, and the others will be used less. I don't expect to use Dusclops much, because it doesn't really work well in this format. Not too well anyway. But I'm trying to, at least when Kingler gets taken out, or I feel like I have to switch, I do try to show some of the others off. I do not use Action Replay, no. I use PikaHex.
It's attack rose.
Most of my teams I train normally, like on Platinum.
A heated battle is unfolding in the Coliseum.
But for this team, I use PikaHex. And normally if you use PikaHex, you can't change abilities, but I found a little hidden thing.
A huge amount of damage. It's down.
That allows you to actually change abilities. And even seemingly edit the Pokemon stats. So let's say Charizard's stat would only get to 350, I could just put 999 in there. Haven't actually tried that out yet, but I want to give it a try. So you weren't around early when I discussed it, I think, but I was thinking I could calculate what the stats are on a Kyogre of a certain set and nature and stuff at level 50, write those numbers down, and instead of that Kyogre, make a Magikarp and put those Kyogre stat numbers on the Magikarp. And because they're both a pure water type, Magikarp, if I then also give it, let's say, Drizzle and the moveset that Kyogre can get, Water Spout, Ice Beam, Thunder, whatever, a Magikarp can act exactly like a Kyogre. Which then made me think further, we can make a Mime Jr. act like a Mewtwo. We can make a Chikorita act like a Shaman. We can make a Pichu act like a Raikou. Etc, etc, etc. So I'm gonna try that out at some point. I'm happy that if I just spam the button to get something on the wheel, that we just heal the power points, so that if I don't need to heal HP, I likely only need to heal the power points, so I can just click the button, heal the power points, go on. I'm pretty sure all the items are still in use. Oh god, we got the fog again. Can we see that here? Yeah. Which ones can actually be used up? Cookie's ones can't. Delta's one. No. Landslide, no. Nepenthes can use it up. Durfclops, no. No, only Nepenthes and Killer can actually use up their item and lose it, and then I'd have to use the full heal thing to get it back. Sometimes the Alakazams are fast, sometimes they're not. Although, maybe the last time I faced an Alakazam, I just already had a speed boost and I forgot about it. Because they can't one-shot me with an Energy Ball. Alright, let's show one of my other Pokemon. Considering Kingler's down. I kind of want to use Nepenthes, but that's going to get hit by a Psychic move. Killer.
The blue corner has
Killer, time for
already
murder
taken some
attack.
serious damage.
You've done this before on an Alakazam. Pretty sure the last time I faced an Alakazam that took out my Kingler, I did this as well. And then I used Brave Bird on the next thing.
It's down. Shedinja is sent out.
Looks like I'm using Brave Bird on the next thing, because that's the only thing I can hit it with.
But can they finish this off?
Unless the fog gets in the way. Looks like it gets in the way of them
Both
as well.
corners' moves failed. Well, both corners still have a chance to win this.
Brave Bird, the lowest recoil ever on a full HP Pokemon.
Nailed by
Because
Brave
it's 1. I do wonder,
Bird. Huge
with
amount of damage.
being able to change abilities and moves to make them illegal, how can I make Shedinja better?
Is sent out.
Because Shedinja, with its 1 HP, isn't good.
Yanma starts to attack.
It's not the worst Pokemon, but it's not
Fierce blow.
competitively viable.
Corner, barely
And I'm not going to claim that with attacking whatever I can make it a competitively viable without changing its stats, because that I could otherwise I could just make it have better HP. Without changing its stats, but just changing its moves and ability. And if you're seeing this YouTube video, theorize with me. By changing its moves to any move that exists in Generation 4, and changing its ability to anything that is available in Gen 4, if we even want to change it from one regard, how could we make Shedinja more viable competitively? Either for standard competitive battles, whether Smogon or VGC, but also for Battle Revolution. How can we make Shedinja more viable, but more useful in battle?
Game, set, and match.
I feel like it can't be a stall Pokemon because of 1 HP. If we give it Magic Guard to not take damage from things like Hail or Burn or whatever, then it can get hit by a lot of moves again. Then it can suddenly be hit by Earthquake again, even though 1 Guard normally doesn't allow that. So I do wonder, how can we improve Shedinja?
They're ready to battle and are awaiting their trainer's orders. The battle begins! Bam! A brilliant attack right from the start. Taken out already.
Nidoqueen or Nidoking would be an interesting one with simple Dragon Dance. Because they have pretty good stats, but none of them are over 100.
Ninetales is sent out. Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. What kind of developments can we expect to see next? Slammed him. Taken down by an intense blow.
I think the Pokemon that improved... There's 2 Pokemon on my team that I'd say have improved the least out of the boosts that I've given them. And those are Victreebel and Dusclops. Dusclops, because it's still a stally Pokemon and it can do some pretty fancy things. And it can do some things that it can't do as normal Dusclops. But it isn't as effective as I would have liked it to be. And Victreebel, I changed most of its moves. Make them better than what it can normally learn. And with that, made it more effective as a Victreebel.
The game is now over.
But it's still... I didn't give it anything that improves its attacking stats. Like Kingler, I gave Sword Dance and then Speed Boost, so that helps with its stats. Although Kingler already has a strong attack stat of, I think, like 130 or 110 at least, and then it's like 130 physical defense. It was something like that. But Victreebel, I don't remember exactly what its stats are. I'll check in a second. But it was still somewhat lacking in a way that lets it not use the moves and ability of giving it as effectively. Let's see, 105 base attack, 100 base special attack, 70 base speed, which isn't bad, but I guess could be better. And I gave it a full physical set. But still, I didn't give it any way to improve its speed. I didn't give it a priority move, I don't think, even. Like, I gave Golem Ice Shard, Victory Ball didn't get a priority move. Kingler doesn't have great speed, but it gets speed boost.
The battle begins.
So I do want to use Victory Ball this. The Victory Ball, I think I've only used Wood Hammer twice, and then in the Yanma sweep video I've used one of its other moves. Stop using Double Team in the fog! Although I'm not actually sure if there's fog now. Toxic Orb makes sense. You actually legally can have Poison Heal.
The air in the Colosseum is tense.
I'm happy there's no fog. Get out.
Big hit. Taken down.
Totally lost train of thought of what I was saying just now. Hopefully I said enough and you got the point. I was talking about Kingler, how it was useful. Yeah, I want to use its other two moves.
Is sent out. Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. What kind of developments can we expect to see next? Big hit. A huge amount of damage. It's down. Raichu is sent out. The battle has reached its final stage, and the tension is peaking. Rushing blow! A huge amount of damage! It's down! The battle has ended. It's a total victory for the blue corner.
Here's your Kruger's next. What, a 40? Yep. See if we can make it through set 4. Not officially called set 4, but if I divide it up into sets of 10, that's what I'm calling it. So as long as I stick to my original idea of dividing these survival battle videos up into sets of 10 battles, sets of 10 matches, then this should be the end of the 4th one. 4 Pokemon. Is that because just he's the boss, or is he actually... Are they going to use 4 Pokemon after this fight already? We do. First set has 1. Second and third set of 2. Then we go to 3 in the 4th set, and then just go to 4 in the 5th set? As a sort of a prelude to Kruger probably using 6 in Battle 50? That would make sense to me. Using 6 in Battle 50.
The air in the Colosseum is tense. Big hit. Taken down by an intense blow. It's speeding up. Jump Bluff is sent out. Big hit! A huge amount of damage! It's down! Kingler restored its health. Typhlosion is sent out. Well,
hello, Typhlosion. Bye, Typhlosion.
Who's going to take
or not. Endure. Okay.
A fierce blow. The red corner barely holds on.
Now it's goodbye, Typhlosion.
Big hit. It couldn't take it. It's down.
Interesting biology thing surrounding Kingler, I guess. The fact that crabs move faster going sideways than forwards.
Is sent out. The end of the
Pretty sure that's why Kingler does it as well. I assume so. And I'm pretty sure I've actually learned that that's the case with standard crabs too. They walk faster sideways and forwards. That's how Kingler does it.
A huge amount of damage. It's down.
I'd want to look into why.
The game is now.
So if anyone wants to be the biology expert, or if they happen to know, then put it in the comments of the YouTube video if you're watching this, or in the Twitch chat if you're watching this on Twitch.